Hi creative friends, my name is Ashley the Thrifty Chica. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how you can make these adorable Mickey watercolor mugs, and I'm going to walk you through in Design Space using the Shapes feature to create custom mugs. If you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future content. And if you'd like to create the pre-made project without having to learn the concept in Design Space, you can always click the link in the description box. It'll take you straight to the project. But if you'd like to learn the process, I'm going to go ahead and show you that. Let's go ahead and get started. And before we get started with our video today, what's your favorite color to use on the mugs? Have you made anything with the Infusible Ink sheets yet? And if so, which is your favorite color to use? These here are some of my favorite colors. I really love them. They're part of the Natalie Milan watercolor set, and they're so beautiful. So I would love to know what you're excited to use for Infusible Ink. Hi guys, so we're inside Cricut Design Space, and I wanted to walk you through the process of creating this. This is going to be a very basic, easy design to create. So what I'm going to do is first we're going to think about our mug wrap here. So I'm going to go into Cricut Design Space's projects. I'm going to click on the projects window. You can search up top here for mug, but because this is such a new product, I know that I can go straight down here where the mug design setup is. We're going to click on this, and I'm going to keep it a straight edge on this. There's a lot of different options for adjusting what the edges look like. And I'm going to be using a smaller mug size on this. So I'm going to select the 12-ounce size, and we're going to click customize. What I want to do is use like a really nice kind of soft, like almost watercolor background for this. So I wanted to add something that would just add like a little bit of an elegant pop, but also have a little bit of fun and whimsy to it. So I was thinking about doing a monogram or an initial inside of a Mickey outline. So here's a quick way to create a Mickey outline if you haven't before. There are Mickey images that are much more complicated that you can purchase in Cricut Design Space's library, but this is just an easy way to make it. And you're going to go into where it says shapes here. If you click on the shapes, you'll just click on circle, and I like to make 3 of them here. So we're going to start out with one of the circles, and this will be the head for our Mickey, and then we're going to be using these and creating the ears for them. So we're just going to take the corner here where this corner is and just size this down to where it looks visually right for our project. So you can make sure that they're the exact same size if you want by just using one, and then when you get it to the right size you can right click and duplicate, or if you're on a mobile device you'll go down to the bottom here, it'll say actions, you'll click actions and then you'll click duplicate, and what we can do is place them where we think it looks the best. So where it looks the most Mickey like is where you'll want to place that. I think it looks best right around there though. So I'm just going to adjust this till I get it exactly where I think it looks right. Once you have everything kind of adjusted where you like the most, you can click and draw a box around everything. Go down to your tools here on the bottom and click weld, and it creates a Mickey shape. So that's just a super easy way to do it. You can find the weld tool on a mobile device underneath actions as well. So now you have the outline of a Mickey. I want to create this as just its own outline. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this into a draw feature. And now we have a Mickey head outlined. So I'm going to add an initial inside of here. So let me go ahead and click on text, and I'm going to type in an initial. And now we're going to find which font is going to look the best with us. So I'm going to go up to the top here underneath the fonts and scroll through. If you are in a mobile device, when you click on text, it will ask you to select the font first, and then you type in what you're working with. So I'm just going to kind of scroll through here and look for something that looks kind of fun but classic as well. This one looks really good for kind of that Mickey childlike one. I'm also going to look through here just in case something else pops out at me. Okay, for this one I selected Ann Lee Extra Bold, and instead of cut, I'm going to go up to where it says line type here, which is actually also called, I believe, operation, and I'm going to select for it to draw instead, and it'll give me a nice outline. So we'll have this outline kind of peek through where we're working, and I want these to be the same piece, so I'm just going to adjust this so this fits within it. It has a nice size to the proportion of the Mickey outline. I like how that looks, so I'm going to go ahead and attach these pieces together. And we're going to go ahead and size this down a little bit. I'm going to duplicate it as well once I get it to the right size, but I'm sizing this down, and then as you can see, here's my template. We have the guide here, that's the visual guide for placement. So you'll want to make sure that your design is centered right underneath those points. If you want it to be on each side of the mug, you can center it on each side, or if you just want it to be in the middle, you can do that as well. I'm going to play around with the sizing just a little bit. I really like how this looks, but I want the main focus to be the background of this piece. So I like that. I'm going to double click or right click on it and click duplicate and just complete that the same way on the other side as well. So just moving this right over here and making sure that it's lined up exactly where I would like it. And then once you have it set to where you'd like, you'll take this template piece here with that layer. You're going to click on the right side on the layers panel where the little eye is, and you're going to hide it. If you're on a mobile device, it'll be underneath the layers panel. It'll be on this side of the screen. You'll click on layers and then you can hide it. When you're ready, you can draw a box around all of it, and then you can click attach. And what it'll do is it'll attach the drawing first to this outside here. So it will take your project, draw that section on there, and then it will also cut out the piece that you're using as the background, so it's ready to go. Now all we have to do is send it to the project mat for us to work with. Make sure that you click mirror. Because we're going to be applying this with heat, you always have to use Infusible Ink and choose the mirroring option on there. And then we'll select continue. We're going to select our base material as Infusible Ink transfer sheet. And make sure that you're using an Infusible Ink pen. So I'm going to load the pen in here, and then we'll also make sure we have the fine point blade loaded. So let's go ahead and send this project to the machine. Okay, for this project, we're going to be using the Infusible Ink pen in the color black. I'm also going to be using the Cricut Mug Press Infusible Ink sheets. This is in the color green watercolor, and this has already been used. I've used it for a project, and I have one sheet left, so I thought this would be perfect to play with. So we're going to take our Infusible Ink sheet, and there's one side that has the ink. It's very soft watercolor, and on the back is the section that we're going to apply to the mat. So the shiny side goes on the mat with the ink side up. Make sure that you're working with clean and dry hands whenever you're working with Infusible Ink. And we're just going to place this along the top here. Make sure that it is on the mat nicely. We're going to load our project into the machine, so I'm just placing this in. We also need to make sure that our Infusible Ink pen is ready to go, so I'm just going to unhook this. We're going to place this inside A, and whenever you're working with the pens on the Maker or the Explorer series machines, make sure you click it into place. We'll close that. If you're using the Cricut Joy, you do not need to click it into place, you just drop it in. Now our project's ready to unload. Make sure to remove your pen and cap it so that it doesn't dry out. Since this is such a quick project to prepare, I'm going to go ahead and heat up my Cricut Mug Press right away. And remember, if you've never used a Cricut Mug Press, always use this in a well-ventilated space on a heat-safe surface such as a countertop. And make sure that you have some heat-safe protectant types of items such as an oven mitt or a surface to place your mug on afterwards. So let's go ahead and turn this on. It's going to start heating up while we prepare our mug. So this is one of the brand new Cricut mugs. This is in the size 12 ounce, and it's fresh from the box here. I picked up a big bulk supply of them. And you want to use a lint roller just to make sure that there's no pieces of lint or anything that could interfere with the design. So I'm just going to run the lint roller over the outside of the mug just to remove anything that could be on it. We're also going to take our design off the mat here, so I'm going to place this out of the way. We're going to take our design, flip our mat over, and hold on to our design and roll the mat away from it. This one is such a quick and easy project. It really doesn't take any time to create this one, and it looks really neat once it's done. So I'm just going ahead and separating this from the background. And because this is a straight edge mug design, it's really simple. We just have to roll our design and it allows us to peel away the extra. So we have these tabs that will help adhere this to the mug. So I'm going to do the same on this side. So whenever you're working with infusible ink, just remember to kind of roll it and it'll make a cracking noise and you'll be able to pull that piece off. So this is the side that's going to face the mug when we're applying it. And on this side is the side that you would see on the outside. So we're going to take our mug, place your mug facing you, and then you're going to hold the sides here where the ink would reach on it. We're going to just wrap this around and evenly distribute this around the mug. So I like to hold it on both sides so I can get a good idea. We want this to be at least 1/2 inch away from each side of the mug handle. And once you feel pretty confident about the location, place down one end of the mug wrap and just go ahead and adhere that really well. So I have that adhered on that side pretty well. What we can do is you can wrap it this way if you'd like, or you can just place it down on the surface to keep it nice and even with the desktop and wrap it around. We want to make sure this reaches all the way around the mug very tightly so that way it adheres as well as possible. And just make sure that once you've adhered it, you go back over it with your fingers just for those areas where those tabs are, just to be sure. You can also break out some heat-resistant tape and place a piece of heat-resistant tape over where the tabs are. And if you need to, you can place it over the top or over the bottom as well. But because this is a full mug wrap, this one works pretty well. I would just add a little piece of tape in here just for extra precaution. So whenever you're using the infusible ink pens, you want to make sure that you protect the outside of the machine on the heat plates from receiving too much extra ink. So we're going to take some of the parchment paper that comes with the Cricut transfers, and I'm just going to cut this down to size a little bit. So that way it doesn't have a ton that's overhanging what we're working on. Once you have this cut down to size, just make sure that you wrap it around tightly, the same as you did your transfer, and just use a piece of the heat-resistant tape to keep this in place as well. And I like to go around it and just trim away anything that's sticking up too far because it will be more likely to yellow or burn on the parchment, or if you use the laser copy paper around it, you just want to make sure you don't have a bunch overhanging. Just enough to protect the outside of this, but not too much to cause any interference. Our heat press is ready to go, and we're just going to place this straight down here. You can always use an oven mitt if you'd like to make sure that you're extra safe. I'm going to place this straight down here, and we're going to place the handle down. It will wrap around the outside here. It'll start a countdown for approximately around the 6-minute mark. It depends on the temperature of the mug, and we're going to let this sit until it's ready. It will chime and let us know when it's ready for us to take this out. This is where you can take your oven mitt just for extra safety and then place it directly onto your mat. We're going to let this cool down. This takes approximately 15 to 30 minutes to cool down. Okay, so now we're ready to undo this. It's cooled down completely, and I'm just gonna go ahead and remove the tape from this. If you had any ink that transferred, it would transfer directly to this, which helps to save your mug press from having any transfer that you don't want. And we're gonna go ahead and remove the tape from this section as well and peel it all back. Okay. So that is what it looks like. But it turns out really cute, right? I love this kind of watercolor pattern. It's so soft, but really pretty. And then we have our nice big kind of Mickey emblem with the initials on here. So really, really pretty. This would make such a cute gift as well. I really love how that turned out. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Let me know in a comment below if you've created anything using the watercolor set or Infusible ink markers yet. I also have a Facebook group if you want to share an inspiration and have fun crafting with your mug press. It's called Cricut Mug Press Crafting, and the link will be in the description box. I hope you're having a wonderful day.